Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up you guys, it's KeAmber Vaughn aka Coach Key coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as y'all can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna be doing the breakdown of my first paycheck to paycheck budget for the month. I do get paid weekly, and because I do literally the same thing every single time, and more so because I don't really have a whole lot of bills, it gets redundant doing this every week. So that is why as of last month I just show the one and that's it. But in this video I am going to show you guys me setting up the ones for the rest of the month, and that way as I get paid I can just kind of plug the numbers in, do my calculations, and kind of keep it moving. I won't have to like literally write everything out. So this is the first week that we're going to be doing here. I did already get paid actually this past Friday, so I'm a little bit late doing this, but that's okay. So already taken a picture of what I need so that I don't have to like keep going back and forth. Okay, so this first week is going to be May 7th through May 13th, and I projected, and actually to be honest with you guys, when I created my May budget, which was the last video I put out yesterday, if you missed that, I'll link that up in the eye in the sky. However, I had already gotten paid, so I knew that the amount was more than what I budgeted, but just for consistency I just went ahead and wrote what I typically get paid. So my income was $858.97. And I think this is what I'll typically make when I work 29 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost certain. Okay, so first things first, let's get the fixed expenses out of the way. We got due date, amount. Am I doing this right? Why does it look weird? Oh no, that is right. Alright, so first thing we have is rent, and then there's nothing else, so that's going to be unbudgeted. Rent, I was supposed to send it on the 7th, but today is the, what is today, the 12th? Oh man, this first week is almost over already and I'm just now budgeting. Alright, that's $75, nothing for unbudgeted of course. So the total for this week for fixed expenses is $75. Then we have the remaining. So if I take $858.97, I subtract $75, that means I have $783.97 remaining. Always do fixed expenses first because I think making sure for credit purposes that you pay your bills on time is very important. Due date, amount again, plus or minus. So here we just have the budget, and then I'm gonna write unbudgeted here. So there is no due date, and the amount is $342.50. Total $342.50. Remaining is $441.47. Move it up a little bit. So now we have savings. and I'll show you guys how I'm going to calculate that. Now this part is going to say date sent, amount, and I always do my savings in purple. Okay, so the thing is, I explained in the last video when I did my monthly budget that I don't really have specifics. Like normally when y'all see me put a budget together, let me go to like last month, you'll see how like I break down like where I want my savings to go. But because I have reached my savings goal, which is a huge savings goal, and I'm going to make a video about that, I don't have a specific place that I want to put money anymore, and I actually want to stop saving money. And essentially what I'm going to do is, you guys know I have 7 different sinking funds / savings accounts. So let's say for instance this month I needed to take out money for a medical expense that was $100. Well, I'll put this money off to the side all month, and then if I would basically replace that $100 that I took out of my savings account, and then from there the excess money is going to be put elsewhere. I don't know what I'm using this money for just yet. I don't know if I'm going to put it in my TD Ameritrade account for long-term stock investments. I don't know. So I'm just going to put monthly savings. And I'm gonna send it today, which is the 12th. So I'm still gonna put it off to the side, but it's just not gonna have a name right now. And I might need to create a whole new savings account specifically for this, to be honest with you. Actually, I probably will end up doing that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna create another savings account in Ally and just start putting all of my savings there. Whenever I take the money out, transfer from this savings to wherever I need to replace the money, and then that money will just be sitting there for me to be able to use for future investments and stuff like that. Okay, so to figure out the amount, sorry y'all, I was trying to breeze through this a lot quicker, but that was kind of a little explanation. Okay, so spell this so y'all don't get confused. So my income was $858.97. You guys know I don't start saving money or putting money towards extra debt payments if I was still in debt. I wouldn't start doing that until I've earned enough money to pay for my bills, My bills this month are $604.14. That is the usual, unless I have like some kind of yearly expense or something like that, which I don't this month. So that means that this amount is going to stay in my checking account for my fixed expenses, so that when I pay my bills, everything's covered. So that means I still have $254.83 left over. Based on the last video, I've already calculated that I need 85% of my leftover money this month after I pay my bills. 85% of that needs to stay in my checking for my variable expenses, because this month I have a much higher variable expense amount because I have I put $500 for shopping, which I actually didn't end up needing. I thought I was going to get this wig that's like $300 or like $250, but I didn't. I settled for like a $50 one. So I have way more money in that category than I need. And then I do have $700 in another category that's going to be used later on this month. So 15% is going to go off to this new savings account. So that means that we have to separate this. So 85% of what's left over is $216.60. Again, that's going to stay in my checking account for my variable expenses. So my checking covers fixed and variable. And then what's remaining minus $216.60 is going to be $38.23. Okay. So the total amount that's staying in the checking account is the $604.14 for my fixed expenses, and then the $216.60. That gives me $820.74, and then $38 $38.23 is going to go to that new savings account. I'm just going to add going across to make sure that's the amount of my check, which it is. And I just got a kink in my shoulder again. Chronic injury problems. Jeez, that hurts. Okay, so what was it? $38.23. Honey. All right. Total is going to be $38.23. Remaining. So like I said, right after I do this part, I am going to go ahead and start setting up for the rest of them, but I'm going to complete this one first. That way, if you guys don't want to watch that process and hear me kind of talk through a couple of things, then you can go ahead and click off the video after this part. So always at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I set up a reconciliation because I think that it's important that you ensure that what should be in your bank account is what's actually in your bank account. Because you never know, your account can be hacked, and like, you know, back in the day they would take thousands of dollars if you had it, or hundreds of dollars in one swipe, whereas like now you could see like hackers taking micro amounts of money, like $2 here, $3 there, and that stuff adds up. I actually know someone who knew somebody who did that. And basically he was telling me, like, the guy got locked up and stuff for it, but he was telling me like that the guy would take like $5 a month from like 1,000 people. Yeah. And he was going strong until finally he got caught. So to ensure that that does not happen to me, I always make sure that at the end of every budget, so when I used to get paid bi-weekly, I would do this bi-weekly, but I get paid weekly, so I do that weekly, sorry. So that just makes sure that nothing on a micro level is happening with my account. So my checking account always starts at $4,000. Right now it's actually at $6,500. I think I have an extra $2,500 in there. No, I think it's an extra $2,000 in there right now that I'm just waiting to open up a new business bank account sometime in the next week or so. So that and I'll take that $2,000 out of there and go start the new account over there. So that means that my beginning balance is $48.58.97 because I'm not counting that $2,000 even though it's there. So I'm going to subtract the fixed expenses of $75. Variable is going to be $342.50. Now I know you guys some of you all might be like, well, how are you going to set up for the coming weeks if you don't know what your income is? And like, let's say that you forgot an expense or something like that, like how will you account for that without having to white stuff out and things like that? Well, remember, when I'm putting this together, I'm doing this based off of what I've already put together during my monthly budget. So even if I forgot some kind of expense or something, it's okay, because that's why in every category I put unbudgeted, because that's how I take care of that. So let's say like my nursing license was due and I forgot. Well, because it's a yearly expense, that means it's a fixed expense. I would just put that in the unbudgeted. I'd never budgeted for it here, so there will be nothing extra to write in. Even if I forgot something. So basically at this point, based off of what my fixed expenses are, my projected variable expenses, and then what I sent off to that savings account, this is what I'm projecting for my checking account to end at by tomorrow, basically. So like I said, I'm at the end of the week already as of tomorrow. So I'm just gonna put this part here. So I'm still going to set like the bottom part up, but I won't be able to plug anything in until the end. So if this is where you want to get off of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure that you give me a like on your way out and subscribe if you haven't already. But for those of you guys who want to stay to watch me put the rest of this together, you can go ahead and do that. So the next week is going to be May 14th through the 20th, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about what I have coming in the future, because I want you guys to know like what's been going on and why I've been so inconsistent. So first of all, I told you guys in a couple of videos that I honestly, it's not that I'm burned out with YouTube, it's just, and I've said this before in other videos, I honestly feel like when it comes to the budgeting space, the longer this sounds really bad, but the longer you stay in debt, the better it is for your channel, because people get really caught up in wanting to follow somebody that's where they currently are versus where they want to be. I guess you could say. Like, for instance, one of my favorite YouTubers, and I don't even watch a whole lot of YouTube anymore, but her name used to be Fun and Budget Act, but it's Tanisha Davis. And I've been watching her since she put out her video about how she purchased a Tesla. And the reason why I love watching her channel is because she is literally where I want to be in life. She is a six-figure earner. You know, she does pretty well on YouTube, but I feel like she should have way more subscribers and way more views than she does. But I feel like honestly she doesn't, because people cannot relate to her, and I feel the same way with myself. And I made a video, I think at the end of 2019, saying that this was the end of my budgeting channel, because I literally was sick of doing budgeting videos, mainly because I feel like I've mastered money management at this point, to be honest with you. And even though I'm still doing this for you guys, and really also to hold myself accountable, because I can be honest and say that like last month, it would take me a long time to like start, like I would do this budget on the day that I got paid, but like putting in my expenses and reconciling all that stuff, like I would reconcile on time the day before my budget is about to end for that week. But like inputting my expenses, like certain things that were like habits because I was doing it for YouTube, I don't do, but I'm still really good with my money though, if that makes sense. So I don't know, like I just felt like it's redundant, and that's why my channel isn't growing that much. And so now I've become inconsistent, which of course means that you definitely are gonna have a harder time to grow your channel or whatever. So I just wanted to start doing videos on top of budgeting videos. That's why I put out more nursing videos. I put out videos about credit and different things like that. And still it's just like, I'm ready to do more. So really soon I will start doing vlogs again. They won't be that often, like maybe twice a month, and kind of just like putting together what's happened the last 2 weeks or something like that, because I don't do a whole lot right now. I'm a very low-key person. I do know that I was thinking about doing a channel that was specific for trading, and so like when I would go on trips and stuff, because it would show lifestyle, I would put that on that channel. But the reality is I don't want to have to maintain 2 different channels. That is why I changed my YouTube name like over a year ago to just my first and last name, because then I would be able to pretty much do whatever I wanted with the channel, and it would still be streamlined, because the channel is about me. So, you know, with the pandemic and everything, I didn't travel as much, which is kind of messed up those plans. And that's why I had to pretty much do a bunch of budgeting stuff all over again. So that part kind of sucked. But so what I'm doing right now, I'm in a course. I've already taken a course for this in the past, but I wanted to brush up on my skills. So 18 months ago, I made a video about credit. And you know what? I'm gonna stop using the green to write the remaining, because there's a possibility that there won't be a positive remaining. So I'm gonna stop doing that. I'll just do the total, skip a line, and then go to the next thing. So yeah, in that video, I told you guys that I was starting a credit repair business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In one of those videos I did. And essentially right before I took my first client, I shut it down. I deleted all of my websites and everything. That way nobody could find it. I deleted the packages off my site and everything. And the reality is it was a blessing in disguise, because now this go round I have access to even better software and better practices, better education and everything. So I'm very happy that I did. But you know, people have asked me like, well, why did you never start it? And the reality is, if y'all have been watching my channel, y'all know like I went through a lot in the year of 2020. The minute I decided last January to basically tell my, I guess you can call him a dad, father, my biological father, let's call him that. The minute I decided to tell him that I did not want him to be in my life anymore, everything just kind of went to hell. And that's honestly what happens when you are dealing with a narcissist, when you're dealing with a liar, and when you're dealing with somebody who refuses to take accountability for anything. You know, he just absolutely refused to take accountability for how his decisions were affecting the people in the household, period, but especially his children. And I was very angry. I was angry. I was sad. It made me depressed, to be honest with you guys. Some of my friends have told me how strong I was for everything I went through last year, and I didn't fold. And the reality is, if I could have chosen to die instead, I would have chosen that. And don't worry, I'm not suicidal or anything. I'm just being honest. As somebody who's dealt with chronic depression and anxiety and panic attacks, and has had suicidal thoughts in the past with plans and intent and everything, I'm just telling you the real. Like, I went through a mental hell, okay? And at the end of the day, I'm glad that I didn't fold. I'm glad that I pushed through it. But to even attempt at trying to run a business at that time, baby, I would have ran my own credibility into the ground. I know that there were times where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want to talk to nobody. So trying to run a business, especially a credit repair business, honey, absolutely not. Listen, I would have gotten so many bad reviews. I probably would have been cussing people out and everything else. And it would have been nothing on them. It's just what I was going through in life. And the crazy thing is, when I decided not to do the credit repair, nothing had even really well, what was going on in the household has started, but like all of the negative stuff didn't transpire until like a week after I decided not to start the business. And it's crazy because y'all, like, my friends will tell y'all, I am a very intuitive person. I see things down the street and around the corner, like before it ever happens. And it's crazy and it's kind of scary sometimes. But I just knew something was going to keep me from being able to do this the way that I wanted to. And so, like I said, I'm very grateful that I didn't start it at that time, because everything will be so much better this go around. Y'all, I have not had to have any contact with him in the last 8 months. And I feel like I've legit had more peace in the last 8 months of my life than I have my entire almost 31 years of living put together. Okay, that says a lot. I'm just saying. So yeah, so not only will I have that going, my goal is to do a pay per delete model. And the reason why I want to do that is because, if you guys did not know, I used to be a founder of a multi-million-dollar company, and it's centered around credit repair. Well, finances, but credit repair was like what most people focused on. It was like complimentary inside of a monthly package. And one of the things that I noticed a lot was that most people who have really bad credit, not everyone, so if you're somebody who has bad credit, I'm not talking about you, but a lot of people with bad credit forget that it took you this long to get your credit where it is right now, so where you need help. So it's not fair for you to expect for someone to be able to fix it in a very short period of time. I can't get you to a 700 from a 440 in 2 months so that you can buy a house. Okay. Is it possible? Possibly, but is it likely? No. So, a lot of times what would honestly happen is that you would have people, because they're paying a monthly fee, they didn't like the fact that, okay, well, it's been 2 months and I haven't seen any results yet, so this must be a scam. No, it's just, it takes time. The bureaus by law have up to 30 days to respond to letters, but now with the pandemic, they have up to 45 days, if I'm not mistaken, ever since the pandemic happened. So to me, I feel like it's better for my sanity and for the reputation of my company to charge pay per delete, which means that you don't pay unless something actually is removed, right? So that is what I'm going to end up doing. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so what my projection is to basically do free credit audits. You would have to sign up for credit monitoring first, because that's going to be, and you would have to sign up with a specific company because a specific company works with my software that I have, right? So after that happens, I will import your reports and create a credit audit for you. After the credit audit is created, you are able to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And after you do that, you kind of decide yourself if you would want me to do it for you as far as the disputing process, or if you would rather have software. Now, it's not going to be the exact software that I use, but I will have a free DIY option where, again, the only thing you have to do is have credit monitoring. And the only unfortunate part is the two softwares that I have, even though they were created by the same people, I guess the back end of it is a little bit different. So you would have to sign up for a different credit monitoring service if you want the do it yourself, because a different credit monitoring service is able to integrate with my DIY software versus the done for you software. So yeah, that's basically it. Get your free credit audit. You look over it yourself, kind of figure out what process is going to be best for you, whether it's what's the most cost effective, whatever. In the DIY software, you will have instructions on what to do, and you will also have the letters and everything that you need to send off, but it is going to be self-help, so there's not very much customer service on my end. If you have like software issues or something like that, you will be able to send in like help desk tickets and stuff, but outside of that, it's self-paced. I might create a group for everyone for that. I'm not quite sure yet, or I might just use the group that I have right now that's honestly inactive. It's really hard for me to stay in touch with social media. I used to be really in touch with social media when I was really heavy into network marketing and stuff like that, but over time I just don't care. But I'm working on getting better with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to take some time off for myself, if I'm being real, and that was the best thing for me to do, because I'm a very energy sensitive person, and especially when I'm going through stuff, like it takes a lot out of me, and communicating with people one-on-one takes a lot out of me a lot of times. So I will be hiring like a virtual assistant at some point and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I have coming. I'm not quite sure what the initial startup fee will be. Not sure just yet. I'm not sure if it's gonna include one of my programs that I already have out, because so if you did not know, the name of my company is Your Financial Solution, and I chose that because at some point I want to be a almost like a one-stop shop for all things finance. You want to learn how to manage your money and save money, boom, I have this. If you want to get your credit fixed, whether it's done for you or you do it yourself, boom, I have that. If you want to learn how to day trade in futures, boom, I have that. If you want to learn how to trade in Forex, I already have a very close friend and partner. So yeah, this is what I've been working on, and it's taken a lot out of me to even think through all of this, to be real, but this is what I know I'm destined to do. I found myself when I started this new job, because I actually really like it, and I get paid more than I used to get paid at my last job where my safety was always at risk. I've been finding that I've been kind of slacking on like working on things that I used to work on and aspiring to reach certain goals that I used to be really heavy into. This is what I want to do. And I think that I just got complacent, like a lot of people who make decent money. Like, even though I don't earn a lot, like I'm considered low income in my state, because even with what you guys see me make, by the time I do my taxes, I am low income. Okay, I'm telling you, I am low income. Okay, because I take every tax credit that they give me. So with that being said, I just felt like I was becoming normal. I was being complacent at my job. I'm making good money. If I worked full time, I would make like $67,000 a year gross, if I'm not mistaken, which I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying. So I just needed to get back to me and get back to what my overall ultimate goals were. And that is to help people in the area of finance. I love helping people in healthcare. That's always going to be my thing. But in order for me to be fulfilled, I have to feel like I am changing people's family trees in the area of finance, because this is another thing of mine. This is another passion of mine. So that is why I am working on that next component. That will be hopefully launched by mid-August. I might launch the DIY a lot sooner. I'm not sure yet, but I will let you guys know. But as far as the done for you, yeah, that's not going to be until like mid-July, early August. So yeah, so that is everything set up. It looks like you guys can see that I put the totals in for the, no, I didn't, girl, honey, what are you doing? I was putting the totals in. So let me just total these up real quick, just the two categories on each side, because I can do that part. But this way, once I actually get paid, all I have to do is put my paycheck in here and then do all the remainings, fill in the information down here at the bottom, and then I'm good to go. And honestly, I'll probably end up starting to do this like this from now on, because again, I don't need to like wait to do all of this for YouTube, because I'm only doing the initial one on YouTube from now on anyway. So more than likely after this month, I doubt I do this process again. I'll probably just show the first one and leave it at that. But I wanted to talk to y'all about what was going on in my life. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. Please thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.